Hello, welcome to the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. Frank Ray here with Casey O'Toole from Linkybot. Casey, what's up?
Hanging in there, enjoying it.
Dude, I wanted to. So, this is going to be an interesting podcast, everybody, because I invited Casey on to interview him, but essentially, I'm going to say everything. You know why, Casey?
I think I know why.
Yeah, because I'm just over my head, just head over heels, loving Linkybot right now. Like, it has, like, the lights really came on for me with it, and you helped me set up a probably my 11th campaign, but this is the winner. And you helped me set up the campaign for me, just so everybody's clear. I'm in the private capital space. I specifically putting the majority of the focus on cannabis funding. Cannabis for like cannabis warehouses, commercial buildings for dispensaries, working capital, that kind of thing. Some land, right? Some greenhouse. We really don't like those, but we can get it done. But so I wanted to put the focus on that with Casey and Linkybot and just go after everybody that's in the cannabis and hemp space. And my gosh, this thing, we've been running this new campaign, Casey, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, just not even a month.
Yeah, like 3 weeks. Guys, I in the first 2 weeks, Linkybot booked 8 appointments for me. Oh, here's the other thing that I want to point out. Linkybot booked 8, all 8 showed up. Okay.
Ah,
I did not have one missed appointment. Sometimes especially if you get AI to set an appointment or something like that, you'll get missed appointments. Or if you, I've experienced that when I've had like overseas callers, Casey, where it's like they're just trying to book the appointment, baby. And sometimes you call and they're like, "Who is this? What? I don't know what you're talking." Not with Linkybot, man. So and plus, let me see the number. I don't know what the number is of how many we've added, how many contacts, but I will give you a rough clue as I look in here. This is going to be short because this is going to be. So I show 143, but it's probably another 40 on top of that. It's probably 200, right? It's
yeah,
probably 200 that we've added in this latest campaign, and these are all, and it's done really well, Casey. It's like you said, okay, I'm looking for people in the cannabis industry, but sometimes I might get somebody that's not in the cannabis industry, because there's something in their profile that
showed up.
triggered it, or something like that. But it's banging 99%, 98%. Like, I've had very few people tell me that they're not in cannabis, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the reason why they show up is because it's actually you, well, not actually you, but they think it's you having the conversation, and you're the one that can provide these loans, working capital, and so you have something they want. I mean, when an overseas caller calls and books the appointment, there's always a little bit of uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
any sort of uncertainty when you have like an appointment, they're gonna skip it or cancel it or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's you.
Yeah, it's that's a good point. So there, because the AI is impersonating me essentially, and having a conversation and having, bro, great conversations. Like, we had to adjust it a little bit in the beginning, right? Which is really nice about Linkybot, because you can do that, guys. If you engage with Linkybot and you get it going, just once you get it up and running, just pay attention to what's going on. If you feel like there needs to be a little adjustment, just let Casey and his team know it. They just make that AI tweak for you, and then ever since we've done that, man, it has been super cool. And yeah, so I'm coming up this week. If all 4 of these keep, which I don't know why they wouldn't, um, it'll be 12 appointments in 3 weeks, and the weeks just got started. I mean, these appointments were set over the Thanksgiving week, right, for
Mhm.
this week. So I might still get a couple more in this week. But here's what I wanted to really emphasize, Casey. So like I said, we're doing funding for cannabis dispensaries, the commercial buildings, funding for the warehouses, the real estate side of it, right? So these big loans, these are big loans. And I got connected and had an appointment set. No, I got connected with a gentleman, and he shot me a message right back saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you. I think I'd like to use you for our real estate endeavors and our business." Let's get together. So then and he shot me his email. So we moved from LinkedIn over to email.
Mm.
And so I shoot him an email. I said, yeah, here's my link that Linkybot sent anyway, but here's my link, to set the appointment. He set the appointment. I talked to this gentleman. Casey, this guy is a CEO of his company. I won't mention the names of the companies just out of respect for the guy. I haven't, but this guy, was telling me his story, and he got into, I forget what business he was in. It wasn't cannabis in the beginning, but he created a magnificent company. It might have been a construction company. Took it public. Okay. Took it public. It got sold. Okay. Where he left, right? Some new CEO, new people came in or whatever. They ran it into the ground in 5 years, right? He bought it back for pennies on the dollar, okay, and did it again, okay, like made it wildly successful again, right? Tapped into the cannabis space years ago, and has just flourished. Like anything this guy touches just turns to gold. He's just a very savvy CEO and business guy. This guy is funneling Casey in this. There's only certain banks that'll take cannabis money and state legal stuff.
Hmm.
There's a particular bank in Oregon. He's funneling in $2 million a month, okay, into this bank. All right.
A lot.
The reason I'm bringing this up is, as I want everybody listening to understand the caliber of CEO that I was able to speak with and have a conversation with is that caliber CEO, right? Like this guy is a monster. He's a baller, for lack of a better word, right? This guy is massive. He's acquiring dispensaries. He's acquiring things. And he says, we typically lease. This is why you want to have the call. We typically lease. And, we figured, might as well start buying, some of this real estate. So we want to talk to you about that. And I was like, absolutely. Let's do it. We bonded like crazy. We're, supposed to follow up with him next week on something he's got cooking. And Casey, if it wasn't for Linkybot, I would have, first of all, I wouldn't even known the guy existed. Okay.
Hmm.
Never. Okay. And I certainly never would have had a meaningful conversation with that guy. You know what I mean? But that's all thanks to Linkybot. That's the kind of relationships your system can produce. It's just blowing my mind. One more story, and then I'll let you talk. And I told you in the beginning, I'm going to be doing most of the talking, but I wanted to just let everybody know.
I'll dig
So,
it.
one more thing. Another CEO, this gentleman was looking for some funding. I could have got the deal. Dude, I was so close to getting the deal, but it was only a month away from funding. And I could have beat the deal big time. But he was like, brother, he goes, I just met you, and like, it's a $5.5 million loan. It's all lined up on an acquisition. I know these guys, I've dealt with them. Yes, the rate's way worse than what you're telling me you can get for me, but
Mm.
just from my position, just to be safe, I'm just going to let this go through because I got to get this acquisition. Not that I don't trust you, or it's just that we just met. I said, I totally understand. I said, well, what else you got out there though? Maybe we can refinance some other debt. He goes, oh, I got 20 million worth of debt out there. And I go, well, what's the rate, average rate? He goes, about 13%. I said, I could kill that. He goes, yeah, we'll be talking. Let me finish up this deal in Vegas, right? And then we'll regroup back together. Casey, this guy has 32 dispensaries in 7 states. He's acquiring 2 in Vegas right now, closing in January. And then he's got 6 more that he's going to be acquiring before the end of Q1. He'll have 40 dispensaries nationwide. Okay, well, in the legal states, right? Casey, I would have never met that gentleman if it wasn't for Linkybot. Never in a million years. I would have never been able to have a conversation with him, right?
Yeah.
And thanks to Linkybot, this is the contact that I'm in touch with, right? This is one of my 12 appointments that was
Mhm.
set amongst other ones. So if you're listening to this podcast, watching it on YouTube, I'm telling you what, man, Linkybot, and I tell you what, it goes right into the loan officer CRM too. That's the other beautiful thing. They connect together. So everyone that comes in through Casey's Linkybot drops immediately into our CRM, the loan officer CRM, to where we can do things with it from there, right? We can do things with the data. It's gathering me hundreds. I'll bet Linkybot in this campaign gets me 4,000 people in the year. I'll bet it does. And I don't know, dude. I just wanted to just rant and rave and jump up and down and let people know this product is the real deal. Like this is a legitimate contact making, high end, high level contact creating platform that gets appointments to where you can start building meaningful relationships with the target audience that you're looking for. And it's so easy. You just got to monitor LinkedIn. You just monitor the messaging. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do is just kind of pay attention to what's being said. And if you got to intervene, you intervene very, very, not very often, right? Sometimes you got to jump in. But I just want to say thank you for this product and how great it is. And there you go. So now you can talk. You can say whatever you
Well,
want.
I mean, I would love to take all the credit. And granted, I built this, right? But a lot of it's also LinkedIn and just the nature of that platform
Yeah.
is it allows you or allows me to help you build these relationships with that caliber of person, right? I mean, the way that I've refined our process on how we find them as well. I mean, I literally just took our conversation that we had, it was recorded, and I then threw it into this prompt that then can, decipher through the conversation and pull out who your ideal audience is.
Yeah.
And it'll run it through like a sales navigator filtering kind of sequence that would then give me the suggested filters. And so what's nice is that I like to take all the credit, but AI helped me set up the system from end to end. And so it uses all the Boolean keywords to have exclusions. It excludes, it is so good now. AI is so good that it can almost build this entire system from beginning to end with just a
Yeah.
handful of prompts.
Yeah. It's crazy, huh? It's just nuts. Hey there, if you're loving the tips so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and then click on the bell as well so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. And also, would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next. Well, you've been the one to wrangle it in and put it into a box, okay? That someone like me, a loan officer or a real estate agent or any industry, honestly, can use Linkybot. Any industry can plug in with your guys' help, figure out the demographic that they're looking for, who they want to speak, who they want to engage with. The other thing that's really cool too is I've watched you set these accounts up to where it's like, okay, so what's your audience? Within 5 seconds, you can see how big that audience is. Like, you start giving me some business categories, if you will. What kind of businesses are you looking for? And then what are you looking for? CEOs? Are you looking for managers? Or what are you looking for? You start putting that in there, and you can just see the number changing of how many
Mhm.
contacts are in LinkedIn that fit that niche, right? And I don't even remember how many was in mine for the cannabis, but I know it was fairly large. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and the nice thing is okay, there's your audience. And now Linkybot is just going to sit there and tirelessly work every single day, right? And I know LinkedIn throttles like there's a limit to how many connections we can actually make before LinkedIn comes in and says what's going on here, right? So you've got that all figured out.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's throttled, right? But it's look, man, I'm probably right at about 200 new ones. I don't know if you could look it up, but I'll bet you I'm close to 200 new ones in three weeks.
On top of your 24,000 plus you currently have.
Which, by the way, you were responsible for building most of those. The
Yeah.
vast majority. When we first got together years ago, when you were MyLink Solution, before the real AI angle on this thing, um, I had 900 people.
Hmm.
I think I had 900 people, wasn't it?
That's
Something like that. Yeah,
low. Yeah. Like what most people have is like 500 to 900.
yeah, yeah. And you got me up to 24,000 people over the years. You know what I mean? Through multiple campaigns. You know what I mean? But this most recent campaign has just been remarkable, and a lot of it was my issues in not knowing who the heck I wanted to talk to. Or wanting to talk to too many types of people because I
Totally.
just, but and so one of my big things, recently has been trying to find the one thing that I want to do. The one thing, and the private capital cannabis thing. In the lending arena, private capital cannabis, I've decided that's the one thing. And I,
Totally.
yeah.
And
So,
and that's always, I mean, that's pretty much night and day. When I talk to someone who is having like a discovery call, I'm like, all right, so who do you want to be targeting? I don't know, people who have money. I'm like, small
mm,
businesses. And it's like, okay, I need a little bit more oomph in
yeah,
that. And then, okay, so
yeah,
what are you offering? Well, this is what we do. I'm like, well, what makes it unique? What makes it different? And I'm like
yeah,
pulling teeth almost.
yeah,
But really, what we're doing is like we're sharpening the axe, right? And so, like, the more sharp you can get your audience, the more effective your campaigns are going to be. So,
yeah,
if you wanted to do any pre-work prior to jumping on a call with me, is like really dial in who your audience is and what sort of offer they would want to hear about,
yes, that's such a
right?
good way to put it. Yeah, you got to dial it in. You got to get as granular as possible to this is the person, the type of people that I'm looking for. And then right, have an offering that really, is something that they would be interested in,
Totally.
and anyways, yeah, but if you once you get that kind of figured out and dialed in, and you guys help with that too. I know you do.
Yeah.
You can help these guys with it. Look, guys, I'm just going to tell you, I'm a user. I'm a huge fan. It's just been fantastic. I've met so many people. I did a podcast, a pre-call to a podcast with a gentleman in the cannabis industry today. This guy is one of the most successful people I've ever talked to in my life. He's just like just and in this industry, the cannabis industry, he's like a well-known guy. I didn't know him. I don't know. I'm kind of new to the whole thing, but he's like this really well-known guy. And just from that conversation, which was kind of the what are we going to talk about on the podcast, which is next Tuesday, I'm going to record with him.
Mm.
Um, um, Shoot, I forgot what I was saying. Uh, but anyway, super super well. Oh, yeah. He as he was as I was learning about him, I was learning so much about the industry. Just like in a 20-minute just get to know you call, all of a sudden I was getting super educated and learning about key players and people in the industry and companies in the industry. I'm frantically writing everything down.
Hmm.
So if it wasn't for Linkybot, I would have never
Well,
had that conversation. You know,
and that's I also recommend too is like because the appointments come so effortlessly, right? Don't go into them as if they're not valuable, right?
right? Good
You
point.
go into every single appointment and you're supposed to research the person that you're talking to. Look at your
Yes.
conversation, look at their profile, figure out what you're kind of aligned on, what you may want to talk about, because you never know who you're going to be talking to, which is kind of the cool thing. But guarantee they're professional. Guarantee they probably have a fluence in some level. But yeah, I mean, you get connected with a lot of good people on LinkedIn.
Amazing. And that was such a good point to make. And I did that. It was 30 minutes before I met with him. I was on another phone call with somebody. I was like, I got to get off this call because I got to research this guy. I got to figure out who I'm talking to, right? And I started digging in. Started from his LinkedIn profile, and I saw all these things that he was founder of, co-founder, and I started Googling and looking these things up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like these are impressive companies. He 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 co-founded a company and helped them raise $100 million in capital, and another couple of companies like that. He's kind of a connector guy, and he's a brand guy. He knows how to create brand,
Mhm.
and he's just brilliant at it. Just brilliant. Anyway, had that conversation today. Now we're just get to know you before we do the podcast call,
Nice.
and so I'm just going to I'm going to do Casey's like with the National Real Estate Post, where me and Brian were just talk a lot about the industry and that kind of a thing on video, and so I'm going to do that in the cannabis world, but I'm really going to focus on success stories in the business, because it's a business that I've learned in this short time that since it's not, I don't know if it's because it's not federally okay, it's statewide okay, that there's a lot of unscrupulous, and there's still a lot of dark side to the industry, and there's still a black market, and there's a lot of it's a tough industry. It's really really hard, and I see, thanks to Linkybot, I'm having conversations with people that are just getting started, who are struggling, and talking to people who are got 40 dispensaries. So I want to try and have interviews with these powerhouses and go, tell us how. Help the guys that aren't there yet, who are getting ripped off by something they don't know about yet. They didn't learn this yet, and they get pummeled, because it's happening in that industry. So that's what I'm gonna. That's one of the main things I'm going to do, and Linkybot has helped me get that done in a big way. Because anyone I talk to, I'm feeling them out to see where they're kind of at, and go, let's do a podcast. Let's do a
Mm,
podcast. So even if I
totally.
don't get a loan from them today, I'll they'll help me create content to be
Hmm.
sticky so that I get known, that I get known.
Love it.
So yeah,
Love it.
cool stuff. Great stuff, man. Thank you. So for Loan Officer Breakfast Club, Mortgage Marketing Animals, if they want to buy Linkybot and get started, they get a discount, right? If they
Yep.
use LOBC.
Yep.
LOBC. Yeah.
20% LOBC brings it
Yep.
from $1,000 a month to $800 a month,
Yep.
and it gets you all the results you're talking about.
It does. All you have to do, guys, is make sure you know your audience and what your offering is, and they can help you with that. Just make sure you got that solid, right? And then just monitor LinkedIn. It's up on my browser all day, every day. If somebody goes ding, if someone answers a message, I look at it. I just see what's going on, and 9 out of 10 times I'm like, cool, I'll let Linkybot respond to that. You know what I mean? Like 9 out of 10 times, like, okay, that's going the right path. Let's go in the right direction. If ever something pops up where it's like maybe the AI said something wrong, which is really rare, but if it did, then I can intervene. Or if I realize this isn't a person I really want to be connected to, I can use my safe word that you gave me in there that stops the AI.
Yep.
But you just got to monitor LinkedIn, and yeah. And then, by the way, for our loan officer CRM.ai guys, Chris Johnstone's product connects right in, links right up, just drive them right in,
Mhm.
So good stuff. All right, Casey, thanks so much, man. Linkybot.ai, right?
That's it. Linkybot.ai.
Yeah, linkybot.ai. Go there, use the code LOBC, get 20% off. Think about who you want to target. This would be a great thing to get rolling before the new year. Kind of get it up and running and started right now before you head into the new year would be a wise thing to do. And I'm telling you what, man, you will get appointments from this. You will close deals. I've closed plenty of deals from Linkybot. Don't get me wrong. I've closed them. My wife has closed deals from them.
Yep.
So, anyways, Casey, thanks so much for letting me run this interview and basically say everything.
Love it. I mean, I came prepared, and I mean, I'm totally good with you just ranting about how amazing Linkybot is. Good.
Well, you know what? Well, let's get another podcast on the books, maybe in a few weeks, and I won't do that. I'll just let you say whatever you want to say. Maybe get some new stuff that's happening, or some success stories, or what have you. That would be great to hear. But I just want to get on the record and just say to everybody, if you're not seriously looking at Linkybot, you really need to. You really need to. It's an appointment maker. It's a connection maker. It's a relationship builder. It's crazy, insane, awesome. So, all
Sweet.
right, linkybot.ai, everybody. Use the code LOBC. Get your discount. Have a great one. Thanks, Case.
Thanks, everyone.
All
Thanks,
right, see
Frank.
you. Bye.